Hey guys, what's going on? Today is November 3rd, 2019. Got a killer video for you today. We're going to talk about this incident that occurred after the Thursday night football game between Jimmy Garoppolo and Aaron Andrews. Now, on the right side of your screen, what we're looking at is the news clippings from this game. And despite the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 4 touchdowns and over 300 yards, all of the news after the game was focused on the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo made a little remark at Aaron Andrews. A lot of people think that he was shooting his shot, flirting a little bit with Andrews, who is, of course, I think 13 or 14 years older than him and married, by the way. And in this video, we're actually going to look at the numerology and astrology of this incident. That's right. It appears as if these things that happen on national television, particularly in these nationally televised sports games, appear to be scripted somehow by the numbers. Now, we're going to be looking at this both retroactively and, well, what I want to point out is that there was a little bit of a hint of this beforehand. Now, for those of you who are familiar with my work, check the description below for a link to the channel of Bobby Simpson, particularly this video that he put up on October 24th, which was a full week before the Thursday night football game between the 49ers and Arizona Cardinals. And in this video, he points out how Jimmy Garoppolo is coded with the numbers of Venus. And on the date, October 31st, which is when his team played the Cardinals, his age lined up with the magic square of Venus. And this was all called before the game was played. And then, of course, after the game, we see that the big story is a story about Jimmy Garoppolo trying to find love on the football field. And, of course, the planet Venus is associated with love and beauty in traditional astrology. So first, let's take a look at Stellarium for a second here. And what we're looking at right now is November 2nd, 1991. This is the birth date of Jimmy Garoppolo, November 2nd, 1991. Here we see that the planet Venus has an elongation of 46 degrees, which means it's 46 degrees away from the sun on the ecliptic, this yellow line you see splitting the screen. The planet Venus never travels more than 47 degrees from the sun, from the perspective of Earth. And the maximum elongation for any given transit of Venus is anywhere from 45 to 47 degrees. So when Jimmy Garoppolo was born, this 46 degrees was the maximum elongation for Venus on this transit. Now, just taking a look at the planet Venus real quick, I want to point out the orbital period. So, of course, Earth with an orbital period of 365 days. Oops, I bumped the microphone there. Sorry about that. Venus circles the sun once every 224 days. Using the standard alphabetic order, where the letter A gets 1, B is 2, C is 3, all the way through Z as 26. The name James Richard Garoppolo has an ordinal value of 224, just like the number of days it takes Venus to circle the sun. Furthermore, his birthday is November 2nd. In the reverse alphabetic order, where Z is assigned 1, Y is 2, all the way through A is 26, November 2nd equals 224. Now, every planet, well, every celestial object from the sun to Jupiter, actually Saturn, has their own magic square. So on the left side of your screen, we're looking at the magic squares of all these planets. And it's all the planets plus the moon and the sun. Of course, there's no magic square of Uranus and Neptune. But what we're going to look at here is the magic square of Venus. Venus is a 7 by 7 square. And this contains all numbers 1 through 49. Now, if you add up every number 1 through 49, you get a sum of 1,225. So this means that if you add all of the numbers that appear in the magic square of Venus, you get a sum of 1,225. Well, on the date of this game, Jimmy Garoppolo was exactly 10,225 days old. And of course, zeros are ignored, so this is essentially 1225. And just think about this. You have 7 rows, 7 columns. This means there's 49 squares. And what team does Jimmy Garoppolo play for? That's right, the San Francisco 49ers. So 7 rows and 7 columns, right? 7 by 7. And if you multiply 7 times 7, of course, you get 49. In fact, in Gematria, when you write out 77, it sums to 49 in reduction. Garoppolo's nickname is Jimmy G, and in ordinal, Jimmy G equals 77. In reduction, Jimmy Garoppolo also equals 77. Notice how all these news articles, a lot of them were talking about his flirting being awkward, and you have to laugh. Awkward flirting in reduction equals 77. And to take this a step further, his full name even equals 343, which is 7 times 7 times 7. So we pointed out these 224s with the orbital period of Venus. But there's something else that's really important. Before I closed Stellarium, what I should have pointed out is that when Garoppolo was born, Venus was sitting at 173 degrees on the ecliptic. And you can check this out for yourself. November 2nd, 1991, in the middle of the day, Venus was exactly 173. Well, think about the date Halloween. Halloween is October 31st, which is written 10/31. This game between the 49ers and Cardinals was played on Halloween. Well, 1031 is a prime number. Notice how it's the 173rd prime number. Erin Andrews, her full name, Erin Jill Andrews, equals 173 in the alphabetic order. Erin Andrews was born on May 4th, written 5/4. The planet Venus in the reverse order equals 54. Remember, Venus is associated with love and beauty. The word love equals 54 in both ordinal and reverse. Notice how love also equals 18 in both reduction and reverse reduction. Venus equals 18 in reduction. If you measure from Erin Andrews' birthday to the date of this game, it was 180 days later. Notice also how Venus equals 81. The word awkward equals 81. Jimmy Garoppolo engaging in some awkward flirting. So he wished Erin Andrews a happy Halloween at the end of that interview. And she said, right back at you, right? Now, Halloween in Jewish Gematria equals 1049. This is also a prime number, the 176th prime number. Is it a coincidence that awkward flirting equals 176 in reduction? I mean, maybe. But check this out. There might actually be a riddle here, possibly for the Super Bowl. Now, the 49ers are sitting at an 8-0 record right now. This game that they played the Cardinals in had 80 numerology. 49ers now 8-0. This year, we're talking about Venus summing to 54. Erin Andrews born on 5/4. This season ends with Super Bowl 54. So it's very possible that this is a riddle pointing towards the 49ers being in the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not a sports bettor, so I'm not putting any money down on this, but if you are, it's something to at least take into consideration. Now, if you measure from the date of this game to the date of Super Bowl 54, you get 94 days. Well, for once, awkward flirting equals 94. Super Bowl 54 equals 94. Now, if you were to include the end date, you get 95 days. Super Bowl 54 equals 95 in reduction. Flirting equals 95 in ordinal. And this flirting was on Halloween, which equals 95 in ordinal. Probably also worth pointing out that the 49ers won the game with 28 points. In reduction, 49ers equals 28. And this game was played just 2 days before Jimmy Garoppolo's 28th birthday. Now, it doesn't seem necessary. I mean, we see that this is a clear astrological riddle for the planet Venus, Jimmy G, the Venus quarterback, and Aaron Andrews, who has the Venus birthday. But it does appear that there's an eclipse riddle here. Now, if you're familiar with my work, you know I look at the dates of total solar eclipses, and it appears as if major events in the media, and sometimes our own personal lives, are somehow coded in accordance with total eclipses. Now, this year we had one total solar eclipse on the date July 2nd. And the date of this game, as well as the date of the news story the following day, was 122 days after that eclipse. In the alphabetic order, San Francisco equals 122. Now, if you instead measure from the date of the game to the next total solar eclipse, which occurs on December 14th, here we're looking at the date of the news story, November 1st. It was 409 days, and of course, it's the San Francisco 49ers, right? Furthermore, this is also 13 months and 13 days. San Francisco 49ers equals 1313 in Jewish Gematria. So whatever happened here between Garoppolo and Aaron Andrews was clearly a result of an astrological alignment, some sort of numeric riddle that's playing out in front of us. Pretty wild stuff, and pretty humorous, if you have my sense of humor. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for jumping in. Pleasure having you all. I'm going to do another video here in a little bit, but just wanted to get this out of the way because this is some super interesting stuff. And for those of you who want to check the live chat and live chat replay, Bobby's dropping even more knowledge about Jimmy Garoppolo. You know, his nickname being Prince Aladdin. Even the release of these Aladdin movies is somehow coded in with this guy's numerology. It's pretty incredible stuff. Okay. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you again soon. Peace, love, God bless. See ya.